Hello my people, this is Hippie Crow Hub by Vita K, me, the Hippie Crafty homemaker, and today I'm gonna share all the beautiful things I made this week. We're gonna start with crafting some beautiful accessories. We're gonna use leather, a little hole punching tool, hammer, and a chopping board. As you can see, I already cut out the leather, and I cut it out at the angle like that in the shape of the V because you will see why in a minute. We're gonna start with these pieces and we will punch some holes. And trust me, you do not want to hear the original sound of this video because the banging is nuts. I am gonna punch holes all over the leather so that I can incorporate crochet into the leather. And there are many different variations of how you can do this. I'm just sharing how I did this. And when you practice punching through the leather, the more you do it, the better you get at getting the right amount of strength into your punch to punch it through with one hit. And then that works better because then you don't have to be banging so much. But this was the start, so I was trying to be careful, but the more I did it, the better I got at punching the hole in one hit. And there are so many different ways that you can do this. I'm really excited to show you the final result because I think it turned out really neat. And at the very end of the video, I'm gonna show you exactly how it looks on me. But for now, we're gonna see how the process went. So these two little pieces are going to become earrings. The other diamond shape and the bigger rectangle will become pendants. And all the V-shaped leather pieces will become necklaces, and these two straight long pieces that I already punched holes in will become bracelets. And I love earthy materials, leather and cotton yarn. It feels very cozy and hippie. These are the kind of jewelry that are lightweight and they're natural. They just sit on your skin like a piece of clothing. And time to add the yarn. I just tied it up, and just all you need is basic crochet skills. If you don't know how to crochet, you can check out my crochet videos. In the past, I made few on basic crochet stitches. And again, you can design the item in any way that you desire. I did couple of variations, and pretty much all of them were done like that. I didn't have exact plan or expectation. I kind of went with it. It's usually how I do it. So the very ends, I left it without the crochet because I'm going to add a metal ring and a clip onto the leather just to make it stronger so that the bracelet can close. And I went over it one more time. The next bracelet, I did a little bit more like a granny square patch style, so only went over it one time. But the end result is just slightly different. I really like the color combination, how the brown leather and this kind of beige yarn combines together. And we're getting closer to the end of this crafting demo. I'm not going to share absolutely every single item because that will take hours and hours and hours of filming, but you get the idea and you can get creative and come up with a lot of different kind of things. So this was the first leather that I crocheted, and right now we're gonna add some metal rings. This necklace I decided to leave plain without crochet just to test it. I like to experiment. So these are just the standard jewelry crafting tools that I have. And we'll use these clippers. I went for this color, kind of like a grayish color. I think it's more neutral because it's like a hippie bohemian style accessory. And this particular color I haven't used yet, so the sellotape was still on the box. But there it is. So I'm gonna add the clipper on one side and I'm gonna add a couple of rings on the other side, so then it can be connected. I love having these tools around, even sometimes when I want to fix one of the old jewelries. And here is me. Finally, you get to see. This was early Friday morning. The school was closed for the day. It was one of the long weekends for school, a PA day. So we woke up, kids were just doing their own thing, and I just went straight to crafting. I don't think I even brushed my hair yet. I just pulled it back, I think you can tell. And I really enjoyed this day because I was just in a moment and enjoying my creativity. And here is a batch. And this is not all the items yet. I have made a lot more that I did not film the process, and I will share every single one of them at the end of the video. So stay watching and do not go anywhere. But I really think that it is such a beautiful vibe. It has like this kind of like a Lithuanian fall combined with like native look. And you know, the more you travel and the more you're exposed to different cultures, you can sometimes see like a lot of different influences in your own creations. And I was not going for anything specific, but this was just what came out. And I love it. And now we're gonna get some of these yarn balls crocheted into a mat. So what I do is I organize those balls by size, and I start with the smallest one. It helps to complete a circle when I crochet. These are all the t-shirts that I shared in a few videos. I said I have a pile of t-shirts that I need to sort out and use up, and I kept like postponing the project, but finally I got it done. And this is the process of how it keeps getting bigger. And this whole mat I crocheted in like, I don't know, probably like 30 minutes. I just sat down there and I got it done. The longest it takes to cut up the t-shirts and turn it into a yarn, but the crochet part is very quick because it's very thick. And you just go around in circles and it's done. The time has come and we need to cut this beauty. Alrighty, so I'm doing this upcycle for a lovely lady, not for myself. So I gotta remember all the little measurements we took by eye. So she wanted it to be around this length. So I'm going to cut here. So also this is slightly bent. So, and there's like the lines, so I need to follow the lines. I think I need to cut right here, so after a double fold it will be this long around here. Because this goes a little bit at the angle, and also this goes down, so I need enough space for elastic to go in. Okay, I need about that much here on the hips for the elastic to come in. And if I go all the way here, that's too short. She wanted it to be a little bit lower. So I might not be able to go with the lines of the dress. But this opens up. Or maybe I have to just cut as a single line, as a one at a time. Okay. Because this changes the pattern. What do we do? All right, well, at some point I'm just gonna have to cut. There's no way around it. Okay. We'll go here. Still trying to figure out, is it better here or here? Okay, let's go for it. I'm always a lot more nervous to do upcycles and crafts when it's for someone else, because I feel like there's like expectations. Whether when I do my own upcycles, I just go for it and I have zero worries that I will mess it up, because I have nothing to lose. If it doesn't work out, I just don't put it on the rack or remake it. But for this, it's not my dress, so I really want to be careful not to mess this beauty up. Okay, so I need about that much for the elastic to fit through here. But then the dress will change, the top will change its shape. But maybe it can become a little bit like at the angle, so it's shorter on the side. I think that will work. And I'll go up for here. You know, I didn't think of it, that it's gonna get a little bit tricky like that. Okay. Okay, up to here. And this opens up. Okay, gotta line this at the back. is such a pretty dress though. Okay. Yay. So this just gonna have to get finished up. Just gonna do a simple double fold on the edges and we're gonna sew. So that is no concern. That is very easy, simple upcycle. Okay, here I'm gonna have to do a double fold. So probably one button can stay, but for now I have to remove them and I'll add them back on just as a decoration because I'll have to sew over it. And the red little buttons are very cute, so we're definitely gonna add them back. Okay, so the back. So the lady that I'm making this for is a lot smaller than I am. So this has to be a little bit sized down. Also, there's a little rip here, and this button is not a matching button. So I'm gonna take it out anyway, because it kind of stands out in a funky way. I can return it for her just in case she wants a spare one. So this we will tuck in. Okay. I can add this back on random locations. Okay, so when I sew, I'm gonna move this to the side down. I'm gonna get some pins. Okay, this will come back after. I just need this out of my way because this is a cute decoration. We don't want to cut it away. All right, but this needs to be tucked in. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna simply all right, I'm gonna sew here so that it completes the pattern and it covers up the stain. So when this gets closes, it will be right next to each other and we can still add the elastic on it. So I just have to align this. Here. Oh, no. Here. So I'm gonna leave this split here. This will go back on. Here we're gonna do a very small fold for a tiny little elastic. Last day of filming, and I am so excited because I actually made all the stuff I planned to, even more, and I can't wait to share and show you the final result. And finally I get to craft, and thank you so much for being patient and still viewing some of my last few videos that was kind of like a fillers for in between my crafting videos, since I needed to get some stuff done. And there are a few people that are super supportive. They're saying whatever video you can provide is great, just keep going. Thank you so much. And even though those videos are not mostly viewed, it doesn't matter, because the few people that actually care and just love watching my videos make me happy and make me want to keep going. So here it is. The first thing that I finally made is this rug. I love making these. I talked about it already quite a lot, and these are my favorite types of mats. You know, I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, but this is all that it came to. But it's still good, and I actually really like it. And I recommend you try making rugs like that. It is such a great way to use up the t-shirts that are no longer good neither for donating or for wearing, because they stay in the ripped and just like not fresh anymore. I love to wear t-shirts around home and for sleeping even. So the t-shirts wear out, and you know, and then in the end you're gonna do something with it, and if you donate it, nobody will want to buy it and it will end up in the landfill anyway. So this is an excellent way to use up the stash of fabrics and materials and textiles, and yeah, less waste, saving money. It's awesome, isn't it? Alrighty, so the next item, the vintage dress that I was upcycling for someone, is in here, and I just put it in here because I'm gonna bring it on Friday to the shop where I have my rack. It's Bazaar 306 College Street in Toronto, close to Kensington Market. So one of the owners of the shop asked me to do a little chop because she knows I do this kind of stuff anyway, and she really liked this vintage dress and she wanted it to fit her better. So this is what we did. So this is the skirt, and I saved the little cute buttons because these were like sweet accents, and this remained original. So when we work with vintage stuff, we really don't want to take away the beauty of the actual vintage item. And this skirt is very long. It's like all the way to the floor. I don't know if I will need to use trim the bottom for her, but we'll see when she tries it on. I also left elastic sticking out here from one little angle, and I pinned it so that she can test how wide she wants it to be, if she wants to loosen it up a little bit or tuck it in, so she can adjust it. So these are the final little mini things that can just be, you know, altered to your own preference. And also the top is adorable. I trimmed it as kind of like a crop. For me, it's shorter than it would be for her because I am a lot taller. So it will probably be around the waist area. And I used the original fold like it was on the dress just to keep it like tucked in. And I really like how it turned slightly oval here because the way the dress was shaped. So we wanted to use up the original shape without cutting away too much of the material. So there was no waist left. This is all there is. I just used the actual material to fold it. And I even like how symmetrically it turned out here, the lines. And it's such a cute color and such a cute, I think it's very cute look. So yeah, and you know, some vintage outfits are adorable, but the shape's not always most flattering. So I love to do this little adjustments just to still make it kind of young and fresh and new with still having that vintage vibe. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to 2 boxes full of crochet and leather necklaces and accessories, and I'm obsessed. So these are, I made more than I thought I will. I just kept going. I thought, you know what, I still have a little bit of the yarn left, and I just kept going, whatever I could come up with. I made a couple of variations of each idea-ish, but each of them is still unique and different. So I'm just gonna share here. So starting with these flowers, and the way they go would go kind of like a choker on the neck. It could even be on a shirt in the center. You could even put it on your arm or an ankle, or even like a little top or dress, bag, whatever you can imagine. But really, it's intended for it to be a choker, but it's up to you how your imagination runs wild. And there are a few different variations, and I think they're very cute. This could even go on the hair, if that's your thing, or on the back, on the bun. And these are such simple ideas. Super, super duper. And these I made after I made the other ones, the original plan. I just, like I said, I just kept going. I was inspired, and I was like, well, let me just keep making these. I made also these because I had just a tiny little scrap of the yarn left, and I was like, what else can I squeeze into that? So these are very simple. They can go on your neck. They can go as a bracelet, and they look very cute as an anklet. If you, oh, I can't lift my foot that high. Anyway, you get the point. And they can be wrapped up on the ankle. I made one tiny one for my daughter, and she's using it as an anklet. She looks so cute with it. Yeah, these are very simple. Also, a few other variations. The original necklaces I made, they were, oh, oopsie. They were more this style, and they all sold out, and it was quite a popular item. So that's why I'm making a lot more of these. So this one, it just ties up in the back, just like this. And I think they're super cute. And the other ones, I did it a little bit differently. I used the necklace string that already has a clip, and I added a different kind of material. So this would go like this. Let me put one of them on so that you get the better view. This is a smaller one, and these are pretty simple to make. I'll put this one on. I love shells, but I try to make different kinds in case some people don't like shells. There we go. This is such a sweet, like, summer beach or any season, if that's what you're into. It really reminds me of like a hippie, bohemian, pagan kind of native vibes, all that, you know, just like very folk kind of jewelry, and I love it. And I really feel like in my creations there's a lot of like Lithuanian folk background that comes in. This beige colors, and like my wall art is right there, one of my wall arts that I had at home that was just had too many things in my rack, so I removed a few things to just rotate it. But yeah, and then moving on. Okay, so the leather accessories that I was showing you how I made it. So I made many different variations. Okay. Here, there's one of them. There's another one. I'll just pop this on because I'm gonna show the other earrings. And if you up for making your own, that is totally doable. It's really not difficult to make. If you into wearing this kind of stuff or buying it, you know, that's where I come in. And I think I should set up an online shop on my website with these kind of easy accessories, because some of my bigger items are harder to ship, but I think this would be a good start. And we'll see what happens. So I'm also made earrings. Similar idea. And what I love about these, they are very light. And they are perfect for an active summer, but still with an accessory that stands out. Trying to clip this back so I don't lose anything. And some of the bigger items are also really neat. Okay, this is a very simple one. I just decided to, as you can see, this is just a V shape. It's the edge of a square that I cut. And this shape just does its own magic when you put it on the neck, because it just hugs so well around. So it's not a straight line choker, but it's kind of like a necklace. Ah, what's happening here? Okay, that's in the end is literally that, just a normal clipper. I just can't get it there. Here. I really like this. I love the way the shape falls, and this can be removed. This can have like another pendant in it. It could be with nothing also. But I like that it's actual real leather. I'm gonna use the camera as a mirror. Okay, here we go. All right, I made these two. These are like the smaller ones, but I think they're also very sweet. It's kind of like almost like a hippie heart. So this can be higher or lower. It depends on the preference. This one is a little bit bigger, but they're pretty much the same, just slight, small differences. Okay. Next is these bracelets that I really love how it turned out. They're very small, different variations, but they look very similar. So here, all you do, you just clip it like a regular bracelet. And I think these are really nice. And the other one too. And they're very earthy. And next, okay, I'm gonna show the last, my favorite as the last, but it's getting closer. So these are the bigger ones. These are one of my favorite ones, because like I said, I love shells. I love how the V shape just goes right on the chest, and you can do it like higher up if you want, or you can do it even lower. It works both ways. Okay, the other one of the other bigger ones, I did it plain without the shells, just in case somebody prefers it that way. And I just left it kind of like this. I think this one is also really sweet, and after a while, if nobody buys this one, I could add shells or pendants to it. We'll see. but I really think this is very cute. Okay, my top favorite that I'm obsessed and I want one of these for myself, but I'll craft another one at some point. For now, I'm going to put it at the shop and then we'll see how it goes. Maybe nobody will like it, who knows, because you know, it's funny how it goes sometimes. Some things I'm like, okay, this will sell immediately and it's there for like ever. And then sometimes some other stuff, I think like, I'm not sure if it's good enough. And then as soon as I put it on the rack, it sells. And then I'm like, you just gotta try it out. It's all about testing the waters. You put it out there and different people see differently and they have different taste. And I have nothing to lose, you know, like, so we'll see what happens. I'll let you know. So as you can see, the shells create this really nice like feeling of this, like kind of, it has this weight. And I totally see myself wearing this in like some beautiful nature hippie hang with friends, and or beach day, or just, I don't know, just one of those days where you're feeling like all hippie and flowy. And I love this. And this could be made in so many different variations with different colors. I already have like a bunch of ideas in my head. I'm gonna experiment with different tones. I have different color leathers. I'll see how this batch sells. And depending on what is most popular, I'm gonna make more of that kind of variations, maybe different colors, because I really like to give certain touch of authenticity to my crafts. And I don't like to make one thing over and over and over again. It becomes boring to me. Then I feel like I'm kind of like a factory instead of a creator. So even when I have that one idea, like when I develop that same idea, it starts to become different and new. So when somebody buys that one thing, it is really just one, just like that. And even if I made two in slightly different variations, it's not exactly the same. So even the other one that is similar, it still has like a slight differences. So yeah, this is my top favorite. Okay, I will love you and leave you. Enough for today. I'm very pleased with all the things I made, and I'm looking forward to next week where I'm gonna sew some more things, and I'm planning to work some denim, because I showed you that I have all these denims that I want to cut up and like do something else with it. So that will be that. I have some other shirts and t-shirts. I'll see, maybe I'll combine some of these things together. And thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been really awesome. Thank you so much. Really, I'm like a homemaker making these videos from home. I think the main thing, what I have to offer is my creativity that comes pretty natural to me, and not trying to brag about it, but I can come up with a lot of random things, not having much to work with, or very basic, simple things and tools. And I encourage you all to create and not be afraid to mess it up. Don't have a specific expectation in your head. Sometimes just go with it. And sometimes if it doesn't go exactly how we expected it, it can come up and turn into something even better. You know, you never know. So, love you and leave you. Love and peace. Stay at peace with yourself. That is the main thing, because the world can be pretty chaotic. And see you next Monday. Mwah!